wasting their time. I'll be home for dinner.
They walk, we crawl, same crimes, different worlds. This is how they protect their own.
The Untouchables just became very, very touchable. James Comey and John Bolton, two men who thought they were above the law, who weaponized our agencies against us, who leaked and lied with impunity, are now facing the cold steel of justice. But something's wrong with this picture. While January 6 protesters were rotting in cells, while Trump supporters got dawn raids, these deep state princes got velvet glove treatment. Bolton pleads not guilty on espionage charges. Comey's demanding special privileges. The two-tier justice system isn't even hiding it anymore. And what you're about to see will make your blood boil. The evidence is damning. The hypocrisy is breathtaking. So don't look away. And while deep state criminals walk free on espionage charges, hardworking Americans need real protection for their future. The same elite who rigged the system are hoarding wealth while destroying yours. And that's why I trust C60 Evo. This Nobel Prize-winning molecule made lab animals live 90% longer. Now my family is living proof that it works. Brain fog, joint pain, aging skin, all dramatically improved. It's 172 times more powerful than vitamin C, working at the cellular level where aging actually happens. Chris Burres, he has been perfecting this in his Houston lab since 1991. The link's on the screen. It's linked down below. Visit c60evo.com/NNN. Make sure you use code NNN for exclusive savings because unlike the deep state, your health transformation can't wait. Now we've got the video. Here is the moment John Bolton surrendered.
Classified documents. Bolton arriving at a United States District Court in Greenbelt, Maryland. He is expected to surrender after being indicted on 18 counts over the alleged mishandling of classified documents. Bolton faces 8 counts of transmission of national defense information and 10 counts of retention of national defense information. Bolton.
Great. Now do Hillary Clinton. Ivan Raiklin was there on the scene. 4 hours ago, he posted, I couldn't resist marauding John Bolton and his attorney, Abby Lowell, today. Hat tip to Joseph P. Daniel with the camera work. Give him a follow. Let's check this out. Here is the moment.
He actually did make a utterance earlier because I called him out that I said I would move from my position if he introduced himself, but he failed to do so. You got the escape vehicle where John Bolton is going to escape to and continue to treason freely through his devices. Because guess what? This toxic, feckless, cowardly DOJ and FBI will not perp walk him, meaning Bolton. Got the courthouse. Got the rest of the disinformation purveyors, namely the CIA affiliates over there, MSLSD. And here we go. Here. It's up, it's up. We got Politico. What's going on, sir?
Here he is.
Mr. Bolton, how are you feeling?
Hey, Mr. Bolton, is Mike Pence going to be ensnared in the conspiracy to defraud the country? Where's Abby Lowell? What are you doing, sir? Doing pretty good?
You're a joke. Mr. Bolton, you're a joke. There goes the rat right there. That's a coward.
Spied criminal syndicate over in Delaware last year, wasn't it? I'm the guy that asked you, what kind of crack you smoke, Mr. Biden? Yeah, that was me. And you asked me, who do I work for? I work for myself. The American people are wondering, why are you representing Jim Homie Comey? Why are you representing John Bolton? Why are you representing the Biden criminal syndicate? You know why? I know why. Because I've already done the investigation on all of you. It's known as the deep state target list. Every single one of you is going to have to face consequences because treason does not have a statute of limitations. If this administration is not going to hold you to account, a future administration will. And guess what? I guarantee it personally. If I'm not around to hold you guys to account, my kids will guarantee that you're held to account.
Hell yeah.
So stay tuned.
Yeah, well baby. Done. Hell yeah. Dude, Ivan's the man, dude. Ivan is the man, dude. I am glad he's on our team.
Good job.
Yes, good job indeed. That was absolutely epic. And here we have more. MSDNC is not having a good morning. The host is desperately trying to discredit the case against Bolton. Even Lisa Rubin, a crook of crooks, can't downplay the severity. The Espionage Act punishes both lawful possession and unlawful removal or sharing of national defense information. Gunther Eagleman says Bolton is going to prison.
National security ballots.
So, Lisa, what exactly does the government have to prove here? How tough is it going to be? And I ask that because is it illegal for a national security advisor to keep notes for him or herself? Because Ken made that point. None of this was included in his book. That was out there for the public.
Sure.
So, you know, he's got a big job. He might want to be taking notes.
Taking of the notes while he was national security advisor, Alex, isn't the problem. Where he kept the notes and who he shared them with, according to the government, is the problem. So the Espionage Act punishes both lawful possession and unauthorized removal or sharing of national defense information. It also penalizes having unauthorized possession and either sharing or retaining it. And in Bolton's case, he's accused of both. He's accused.
Dude, just watching Bolton walk into those doors for an indictment. Oh, that's beautiful. Now, of course, we would have liked to have seen a perp walk, an FBI raid at 6 a.m. like they did the Roger Stone. Maybe some leg shackles. But you see, that's how these deep state operatives work. They have connections that they run very deep. That's why it's called the deep state. They make a couple phone calls, lawyers make phone calls, they cut deals and say, yeah, just let him walk in. Let him surrender on his own terms. I mean, at least if Trump had anything to say here, I don't know if he did. But, these are all operatives working and communicating with each other. But if Trump was like, you know what? He's getting indicted. Let him walk in on his own accord. Maybe that's just Trump showing some grace. Because I'm sure if Trump really wanted to throw the hammer down and really, really make an example of these folks, all he's got to do, pick up the phone, call up Cash, call the U.S. Marshals, and make the order, right?
Of sharing the information with his wife and daughter at a period of time where he was authorized to have the information, but not transmit it to people who themselves didn't have the necessary security clearances to review it or to see it. Similarly, after he was no longer the national security advisor, he had a skiff in his home. The indictment talks about the fact that they come and they decommission the skiff, meaning his home is no longer a safe or authorized place to store classified or sensitive information. Notwithstanding that, after that period of time, John Bolton retains sensitive, classified information not only in his Maryland home and not only physically, but electronically, and he does it in an office that he's maintained in D.C. since 2014, they say. And that's what led to the feds filing 2 search warrant applications and on August 22nd going to both his home and office and taking a bunch of these things away. That's really at the heart of this case. But as Ken has noted, lots of people keep notes. Lots of people in the national security establishment write books. It's the flagrancy with which John Bolton shared this information with his wife and daughter over unauthorized channels. And most importantly, there's a portion of the indictment where they talk about when John Bolton was hacked by somebody close to the Iranian Republic. His lawyer goes to the FBI and says, this happened. But they never tell the FBI what John Bolton was using the account for. They don't disclose that he had shared scores of classified and or sensitive information with unauthorized people through his email. In fact, what they do is they share the email, the threatening email that comes in from the hacker with the FBI. And then what they do after that is they say Bolton's going to delete his whole account. And that is a part of the indictment here.
So, and can I add, these were contemporaneous notes, meaning he's sitting in a meeting and...
Oh, wow. Okay, John Bolton. Here's the results of the arraignment. John Bolton's free to remain out of custody and without supervision, but he's not free to leave the country. Gunther asks, why is he being treated so gently?
He said that his initial appearance in federal court facing 18 counts of mishandling or transmitting classified information. That hearing, it only lasted about 13, 15, 20 minutes, not long at all for Bolton to be here before a judge. They did get some business done in court today, though, Dana. Bolton not only said that he's pleading not guilty to the judge, and we were told by our producers in the courtroom that he said it quite firmly when he was asked what his pleading was. He also has agreed to give up his passport. He's going to have to get permission if he wants to travel outside of the country as he awaits trial. He was released with no other bond conditions that would severely curtail his ability to move about the world and live here in the state of Maryland. Also, we didn't get a trial date today. That's because, Dana, he was before a magistrate judge. A trial date is very much more likely to be set by the district judge, Judge Ted Schwong. He's going to be hearing from Bolton in late November, just before Thanksgiving. That's the next time the former national security advisor to Donald Trump will be in court. There's going to be some things that happen behind the scenes in the coming weeks, including the evidence that prosecutors have collected over years of investigation that will begin to be handed to the team of John Bolton as they prepare their defenses. Bolton didn't speak at all today, nor did his lawyers, Abby Lowell, primarily his defense attorney, but they have released statements, and Lowell has indicated that he has a couple defenses he's thinking about right now. In a statement yesterday, he said that he called it Bolton's classified information that he's alleged to have kept wrongfully after he left the Trump White House personal diaries. Abby Lowell also said that those are unclassified, shared only with immediate family, and everything here that's been under investigation the FBI looked at years ago. Dana?
Oh, just before Thanksgiving is when we're going to find out the court date for Mr. Bolton. Special treatment, Catherine Herridge shifting to Comey. 72 hours ago, as you know, it was like 2 weeks ago, Comey went in and he was indicted, accused of lying to Congress about a strategic media leak campaign. Every defendant wants full access to discovery materials to mount a defense. In this case, Comey apparently wants the VA court to set aside his history of alleged leaking for personal gain. Question: how many defendants have been granted similar requests? Note, declassified records. FBI Director Cash shows leaks were designed to protect Comey's image and to shape the public narrative. FBI Clinton email plus Trump Russia probes. This is from the 10/13/2025 Virginia court filing. Assert now that Comey, cannot be trusted with receiving discovery in his case, controverts his long career of distinguished government service at the highest levels. Moreover, no one knows the facts of this case better than Mr. Comey himself. So this is the actual filing, and see if we can get it here. Zoom in for you. This is the statement. Mr. Comey, a Virginia licensed attorney, admitted to practice in the Eastern District of Virginia as a former United States attorney for the Southern District of New York, later Deputy Attorney General of the United States. He then became director of the FBI. In these positions and others, Mr. Comey has been entrusted with some of the most sensitive and highly guarded information in the country. To assert now he cannot be trusted with receiving discovery in his case controverts his long career of distinguished government service at the highest levels. So Comey's asking for special treatment, citing his long history of distinguished service. I would argue long history of distinguished treason. Ken Delanian writes, fresh from the indicting of Trump's top two political targets in her first 3 weeks on the job, interim U.S. Attorney Lindsey Halligan this week continued to push prosecutors at her Virginia office to change another politically sensitive case involving a Democrat state lawmaker. Comey wants an out-of-district judge to invalidate the appointment of interim U.S. Attorney Lindsey Halligan for the Eastern District of Virginia and dismiss the indictment, according to the notice his defense attorneys filed Tuesday. So they're trying to invalidate the appointment going to the top of it, saying, well, she was not appointed correctly, so therefore the indictment doesn't stick. That is from the National Law Journal. That is part of Comey's defense. Praying medic writes, Maggie Cleary, who briefly led the U.S. Attorney's Office in the Eastern District of Virginia before Trump ally Lindsey Graham took over, has been removed from office, according to two people. So first it was Maggie Cleary, and then Trump fired her and then put in Lindsey Graham. This is you can read it on the screen. Excuse me. This government has removed career prosecutor Maggie Cleary from the U.S. Attorney's Office because the Department of Justice used the office to prosecute political opponents. Wow. 24 hours ago, Dr. Jeffrey Horlick. If you think this is compelling, just wait. It's only going to get better. Traitors figures like Mike Pence, John Bolton, James Comey, Adam Schiff, Nancy Pelosi, and their fellow conspirators will face justice for their crimes. Nothing can stop what is coming.
We've been my son in jail.
This is President Trump in the Oval a couple days ago.
I want to put my son in jail for something that they made up. So they know they made it up. And they say he will serve the rest of his life in prison. These are sick, bad people. And don't tell me about us going after them. If anything, we've been very, very soft. I wouldn't be that soft, I'll tell you that. Thank you very much, everybody.
We've been very, very soft. Maybe that's why we're not seeing raids on these folks' houses. Over on MSNBC, they say it doesn't look good for him.
Slice it. It doesn't look good for him. There's no way to slice it. The details of this indictment do not look good.
Speaking about John Bolton pleading not guilty to federal charges, it doesn't look good. MSNBC reporting that. New York Post headline 8 hours ago, ex-Trump special counsel Jack Smith has now been referred to the DOJ for misconduct and potential disbarment. Oh yeah, all the rats are going down. Let's take a look at this from the New York Post. Ex-Trump special counsel Jack Smith referred to DOJ for misconduct potential disbarment. Oh, come on. Do I have to do all the block? I don't want all these ads. Can we just get rid of these ads? I know how you guys feel. Okay. Another ad. Former special counsel Jack Smith was referred to the Department of Justice office that deals with professional misconduct as well for disbarment by two state panels following deeply disturbing revelations that he surreptitiously obtained Congressional Republicans' call logs. A Friday letter to Attorney General Pam Bondi, led by Senator Marsha Blackburn, accused former President Joe Biden's DOJ of having spied on duly elected members of Congress and demanding that Smith be investigated by the department's Office of Presidential Responsibility. Quote, as part of Jack Smith's weaponization witch hunt, and the Biden DOJ issued subpoenas to several telecommunications companies in 2023 regarding our cell phone records, getting access to the time, recipient, duration, and location of the calls placed on our devices from January 4th, 2021 to January 7th, 2021. Blackburn and the other lawmakers said. We've yet to learn of any legal predicate for the Biden Department of Justice issuing subpoenas to obtain these cell phone records. And GOP lawmakers, including Senator Lindsey Graham, Tommy Tuberville, and Dan Sullivan, as well as Representative Mike Kelly. Elected officials also accused Smith, whose eventual federal cases against President Trump received materials from the FBI Arctic Frost Probe, of having infringed on the constitutional rights of elected officials and trampled on this separation of powers principle that underlies our system of government. This is especially true given the invasion of our privacy was directly connected to our core legislative function protected by the speech or debate clause of our Constitution. Republicans went on, to the best we could tell, Smith's team went on this fishing expedition for one simple reason: we are Republicans who support President Trump. The list of the redacted names and phone numbers. In concluding the missive, the federally scrutinized senators suggested that Smith be referred for disbarment to the Tennessee Board of Professional Responsibility and the New York Attorney Grievance Committee since he is licensed to practice law in both states. The conduct that Jack Smith and his team engaged in harkens back to a dark chapter in American history that we have not seen since the days of J. Edgar Hoover and the completely corrupt investigation and prosecuting by the FBI and DOJ of the late Senator Ted Stevens of Alaska. They wrote, "We must ensure that we never return to these disgraceful eras." So, Jack Smith disbarment is on the table. Jim Comey wants special treatment. John Bolton walking in to the arraignment today. It's being reported prosecutors are presenting charges to a grand jury. This was 24 hours ago. It has now happened. 24 hours ago, Eric Doherty writes, it's been exposed just how screwed John Bolton is after being indicted under the Espionage Act with a total of 18 counts. Bolton might also be a target because he could know other deep state criminal activity. Absolutely. Check this out. This is on Fox.
Very difficult. Regs, there's no statute of limitations on this. He continued to possess classified documents.
Yeah, Will, I'll tell you, I've worked on these cases both on the prosecution side and on the defense side, and I'll tell you they are very difficult cases to defend against because it is in essence a simple analysis. Is the document classified? Is it in your possession? Did you purposefully possess the document in question? And then you reach other analyses. You look at what was the purpose for the possession to determine whether or not additional charges may be brought. Remember, though, I'm very mindful of the fact that Bolton has a lot of knowledge and a lot of insight. There's may be an effort to also get his attention and get him talking about other things that he may have information about. This is just the beginning, the tip of the iceberg. I think it's a difficult case to defend against. He, of all people, should know. Doesn't matter if it's old or new materials. If it's classified and you possessed it, then it could be a crime.
Just the tip of the iceberg. If you got value from this report, tab subscribe. My final thought is next. So here's what burns me up, though. James Comey leaked classified information, lied to Congress, and staged a coup against the president, yet he's demanding the judge ignore his criminal history. John Bolton hoarded state secrets in his house, emailed classified intel through his AOL like a grandpa spy, faces 18 Espionage Act charges. Meanwhile, grandmothers who walk through the Capitol face hard time. Pro-life protesters get dawn raids. Trump supporters get perp walked. It's not justice. It's protection for the protected class. The same deep state that spied on you, that weaponized the FBI, that turned the DOJ into their personal hit squad, now wants mercy? Here's my question. Should deep state criminals face the same treatment as January 6th defendants? Yes or no? Drop your answer below. And show your support for real justice. Grab some gear at shop.nextnewsnetwork.com.